So I love having my routine, and part of my routine is watching Grimm when I get home from work. I'd never heard of Grimm before I started this life, but there's apparently a lot of episodes about it, and it took me a while to figure out what's going on. Unfortunately, my roommate's there, and I'm asking him questions about this because if you just start watching it, it's like, what the fuck is going on? So what the fuck is going on with Grimm? It's Can't you see I'm trying to make a video here, you fuckhead? It's a guy. No. Let's not start with the guy. Let's start with this. It seems like about half of all people aren't really people, but they're like these weird animal people posing as people. They're called Wesen. There's a lot of German words because apparently Grimm is a Grimm is someone who can see these people. He can see when they do their animal changey face. It's a thing that is just happening all the time on this show. You'll see a person, there'll be some sort of dramatic point, and then the camera will stop on them, and their face will shift into some animal, all kinds of animals, and then it'll shift back, so that we, the audience, know that they're a Wesen of that variety. But only this one guy, or line of guys, Grimms, can see them and kill them. As well he should, because they're always committing these crimes. Now, this guy, the protagonist of the series, Nick, he's a Grimm, but he's always making friends with the Wesen. He doesn't automatically go to kill them. He waits until they commit crimes. But I've been watching this show for a while now, and there are never any crimes that are just committed by humans. It's always a Wesen. So maybe Nick is wrong to be the friendly, I'm your friend Grimm. Maybe he should just go around killing them. That's how it seems to me, because if he did, he would eliminate virtually 100% of crime, just based on my observations of the show. I mean, you guys feel free to start watching it, give me your own thoughts. Oh, and here's another, there's a show with these animal people. Some of them have powers. Nick's the only one who can see them. Yada, yada, yada. But the most unrealistic aspect of the show is this. This Nick is like an incredibly good-looking man. Could be a model. And he has this girlfriend, and her eyes point in slightly different directions. Like she's looking to either side of you when she's looking at you. Like maybe a cow or a rabbit would do. And I'm just thinking, he can do better. But it's like, no, what about her personality? But I don't know, she's just always nagging, she doesn't seem all that loving. And this guy's a live action hero who kills supernatural animal creatures, so he's basically an action hero and looking like a model. And he's taking that from this cross-eyed bitch? Really? Listen, my suspension of disbelief only goes so far. Oh, and anyway, as the series progresses, his girlfriend, the cross-eyed bitch, she gets turned into a Hexenbeast, which is a type of Wesen that can do magic. And she just immediately turns evil because she really wasn't that good to begin with. I think she's just sitting around waiting for something like that to happen. I think she always felt left out of the supernatural. Anyway, she ends up getting killed. But it's just unreal. It's like, the funny thing about it is, nobody is like, come on, please. Think back to the good times, because there were never any good times. She was always a bitch. So, nobody was surprised when she went evil, it seems like. They're just like, alright, well, I fucking kill her now. I mean, I think I've summed up everything there is to say about Grimm. Okay, I know. The moral of the story. The moral of the story is this. Never trust somebody if they won't look you in the eyes. So, if the angle of their eyes makes that literally impossible, I mean, I'm sorry, I realize that's a physical thing, but still, don't trust them. I don't have to make good videos. I'll just keep talking about Grimm, even though I've summed up everything there is to say. See, Nick's best friend is a Wesen named Monroe, and he's a Blutbot. Like I said, these are mostly German words. And that just means he makes a wolfy wolf face when his face changes. Oh, and here's an additional point of possible confusion. When their face changes into the animal form, usually only Nick can see it, unless the Vesson wants a human to see it, then the human sees the animal face. So, we as the audience don't necessarily know if it's one of the can only Nick see it or can everyone see it face transformation, which they call Wogan. Here's what I think is the worst thing about the Grimm world, though. Being a citizen of the universe in which Grimm takes place. There are so many Wesson that are just thoroughly unimpressive animals, and it's like, what even is the point? Like, you're gonna be a supernatural animal creature disguised as a human, and it's gonna be like a pathetic animal? Like, one of the guys that's always working with Nick is a Vesson who's a mouse. A fucking mouse. And when his face changes, it just turns into this big old mouse face. It's fucking ridiculous. Imagine being born into this world. You're like, alright, born into the world. Oh, geez, it turns out that I'm a fucking creature disguised as a human. You know, my parents brought me up to make sure that I don't go on at the mouth about that. Okay. What's the creature? It's a fucking mouse. Can I intimidate anyone with this? No. Can I use this for crime? No. Can I use this for legitimate success? No. Is it just kind of like, is it basically like the equivalent of having hemorrhoids? Yeah, kind of. Just be annoying is all I'm saying. And Monroe, the Bluebot best friend of Nick, his girlfriend is a fuxbow. And that's somebody who transforms into a fox. I think. She makes like a fox face, and it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess that'd be dangerous to like a squirrel, for sure. But it's not all that intimidating, really. But I mean, it's a damn sight better than mouse. And then some people are even poisonous toad, and they just turn into a big frog head. There's a whole episode where somebody is killing people with batrachotoxin because they were a fish head Wesson. So, I mean, man, he should be killing these people just to put them out of their fucking misery and make sure that this doesn't continue. But he makes friends with the mouse Wesson. It's like, that guy has kids, and it's like, are you sure you want to put them through this? You are a mouse Wesson. I mean, isn't it better to not be born? Now, as I watch the show, the statistical part of my mind is always just ticking and tallying and whatnot. And from my observation of the world of Grimm, a minimum of 30% of the population are actually Vesson. And it might be something more like 70%. You know, it's hard to tell just by the interactions of the characters which ones are revealed to be Vesson, but they're fucking prevalent. So, it seems like there's this world where there might be a minority of humans and a majority of supernatural animal creatures pretending to be humans. And that's kind of humorous to contemplate. But I don't want to sound racist here. The Vesson seem like the people who commit crimes, while the humans are just like, la-di-da, I'm law-abiding because I'm a human. That's just how it looks to me. How messed up would that be? If that's the case, that Grimm guy, he really just needs to start killing Wesson, as is his birthright. That's just my opinion.